welcome back. It's so good to see you. My name is Tina, and this is Chemosin ASMR. So, today we are going to be reading a little short story about history. And we haven't done one of these videos in quite some time, probably like a year and a half, maybe longer. And that's because my little history magazine thing was packed away, but also because during the first move, when I left the ex-husband, I lost my pointer, and I was very upset. But when we finished this house and moved in, I found it. Yay! I found my pointer. And I have also unpacked my little history magazine. It's just this little magazine that has random short stories about history. So today we're going to be reading one of those short stories. So let me get that out. Okay. So let me get my pointer. Now, as some of you, I'm sure not all of you know, my pointer isn't just some random pointer thing. It's actually a chopstick. It's a chopstick that is from a game from Cookie Day years and years ago. I don't really remember the game. I think it had something to do with like picking up marshmallows with chopsticks or something. I don't know. It was a game from years ago and it was very messy, and so I was like, we're never doing that game again. But I did keep some of the chopsticks, and I found that it was a really good little reading pointer, and it helps whenever I read little things like this on the channel because it helps me not to lose my place. Typically because I've got the shaky eyes due to my MS, but I am on medication to fix that now. But every once in a while, my eyes still go crazy and they start shaking and stuff. They're not very shaky today, but I'm still going to use my pointer because I like my pointer, okay? I like it. So let's go ahead and just get started. Now, I have not read this beforehand because I like to be surprised, just like you. So we're going to be reading this for the first time together. Now, this is titled The Second White House. Now, I don't really know what this is about, but I'm assuming it might be about, because I know there was in the original White House, there was some type of fire that, like, destroyed everything and they had to rebuild and remodel, that kind of thing. Of course, there's a loud vehicle. I'm sorry if you can hear that. But yeah, there was a fire or something and they had to rebuild. So I'm thinking maybe this is about like during the renovation. It's the second White House. That I don't really know. I don't know. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. It's probably going to be quite a short video because this article looks shorter than most. So, yeah, let's just get into the history, shall we? Okay, this says most Americans know who lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. But just 2 miles away in another famous White House, One Observatory Circle is the address of the second most powerful person in the United States, the Vice President. Okay, before we continue, I have to say something. I don't know very much about politics. I am not into politics. But I honestly never even thought about where the vice president lives. I just assumed, and I don't know why I assumed this, but I just assumed that he lived at the White House as well. Like, I just thought there was a separate, like, branch or wing where the vice president stayed, because he's there every day too. Interesting. Okay. Built in 1893 at a cost of $20,000. Can you imagine? My goodness. I wonder what that is in today's money. The Queen Anne style mansion sits on the grounds of the Naval Observatory, a 72-acre complex where scientists study the sun, moon, and stars for navigational purposes. Interesting. I wonder if this is like, what is that? Is that called Space Wars or something like that? I wonder if this is like where that started. I don't know. Where are we? Where are we? It serves as a home for the observatory superintendent, or it served as a home for the observatory's superintendents until 1923, when it became the quarters of the Chief of Naval Operations. It must have changed because now it says that it is for the Vice President. Okay. In 1974, Congress designated the House as the official temporary residence of the Vice President of the United States. Temporary. Okay. Temporary because Congress intended to build a temporary intended. To build a permanent vice presidential residence, but never got around to it. What? Okay. Before then, vice presidents lived in hotels or their own homes. What? Okay. This is the second most important person in the United States, but just stay at a hotel, it's fine. What? But the cost of securing these residences to Secret Service requirements became too expensive. Yeah, that would make sense. So Congress appropriated $315,000 for repairs, renovations, and furnishings for the 3-story, 9,150 square foot house. Wow. Gerald Ford would have been the first vice president to move in, but His time as VP was cut short when the Watergate scandal forced Richard Nixon to resign. Hmm. You would think that he would have moved in, you know, first day as VP, but maybe this wasn't completed yet because it says 1974. So, okay, Ford got the White House instead. Ford's Vice President, Nelson Rockefeller. I've never heard of this person. You would think that more people would know about vice presidents from history, but they really don't. At least I don't because I'm not into politics, but like if it's not more recent or if the vice president didn't become president, I don't know. I feel like they get forgotten, you know? Ford's vice president, Nelson Rockefeller, and his wife, Happy. His wife's name was Happy. Happy Rockefeller? Oh my gosh, now I'm gonna have to do research. What? Used the house for only to entertain. Wow, okay. Preferring instead their 30-room mansion on DC's Tony Vauxhall Road. 30-room mansion? My goodness. Okay, in 1977, Walter Mondale, I don't know, became the first vice president. See, who is this? I've never heard of him. To live at One Observatory Circle, and all succeeding vice presidents have followed suit. In 1981, George H.W. Bush and Second Lady Barbara raised $187,000 for carpeting, furniture, and upholstery. How did they raise that money? I need more information. The couple hosted more than 900 parties. 900 parties during President Ronald Reagan's 2 terms. So George H.W. Bush was vice president under Ronald Reagan. I had no idea. I had no idea. This was before my time, like before I was even born. So, you know, Bush's vice president, Dan Quayle. See, I've never heard of this guy either. Delayed his move in 1989 until updates were completed. Later, he used private donations to add a putting green, a swimming pool, and a pool house. Man, how much were those private donations, you know? Those projects drew praise from Barack Obama's VP, Joe Biden, whose grandchildren enjoyed the pool. Gosh, I want my own pool. Biden left his mark on the house too. On Valentine's Day 2010, he put a plaque on a tree that said, Joe loves Joe. Oh my God. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm not going to get into presidents, vice presidents, stuff like that, but that is the sweetest thing. Joe loves Joe? Come on. That's so cute. Oh my gosh. So, this is the house at One Observatory Circle. I wonder. Oh, wait. Yeah, 72 acres. So, do they have the entire 72 acres? Or are there other like government buildings over here for the Naval Observatory? you know? I have so many questions. Look at this house, though. It's so beautiful. I'm kind of wondering if this picture was taken at Christmas or winter because it looks like, I know it's a black and white photo, but it looks like there's snow on these bushes and on the grass. And if you look really closely here on these windows, you can see like a it almost looks like a ribbon. I don't think it's a ribbon, but you can see little wreaths. That seems very Christmassy to me, you know? I have questions. But this is like this last little sentence makes me so happy. On Valentine's Day 2010, Joe Biden put a plaque on a tree that says Joe loves Joe. Like, oh my gosh, that's the sweetest little thing ever. So cute. So yeah, it had nothing to do with the White House burning down. And I found this very interesting because I had no idea. I had no idea. I never even thought about where the vice president lives, you know? I just assumed because I wonder how far away this is from the White House. Never mind. It says just 2 miles away. It's just 2 miles away. So basically right next door, especially if it's on a 72 acre complex. It's got to be right next door. But also, this is the second White House, right? And this, let's see, what is it? I know there was information about the actual house. Well, it's 3 stories. What did it say? I don't even remember. Queen Anne style mansion sits. Da, 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 da. Whatever. I feel like there was some kind of square footage thing. Oh, yeah. It's a 3 story, 9,150 square foot house. So this is like basically a mansion, okay? It's massive. 3 stories. It also has a pool house, so it's like a guest house, a massive pool. Amazing, right? On a 72-acre complex. I gotta tell you, I think the vice president has it made because the vice president gets privacy. Privacy, they get to step back away from the chaos of the White House to a mansion. Now, I know the White House itself is a mansion, but it's mostly offices and business stuff, you know? The president gets like a little wing, and I don't think it's a 9,000 square foot wing either. So, if I had to choose, I would totally want to live here. Obviously, not with the stair situation because of me, but if I was a normal person that could like walk around and not have to worry about that kind of thing, heck yeah, man. This is amazing. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Lucky, lucky vice presidents. So, this is where J.D. Vance lives. And if he becomes president, he's gonna have to give it up. Like, I would want to give up the house, you know. It's so pretty. And that all that privacy. Yes. Anyway, I know this was kind of a short video, but I still hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.